Alrighty, so we are back in Pokemon Violet with some more shiny hunting. Hopefully everyone is doing well, and you're ready to get a few cool shinies today. I just booted up the game just a few minutes ago. We got Clauncher, Rufflet, but Electric. That's a good one. If I get the shiny of that, that'd be really good. Flittle, Bombardier, okay. So we'll do Flittle, Rufflet, and then Electric. So I'm looking for a second shiny Flittle, a second shiny Rufflet, and then Electric. So let's get into it. Did I just wake up just a little bit ago? Yes. If my voice sounds a bit rough, that's why. Yes. You got me right on, nice. You started early? Yeah, I've got stuff to do this afternoon. Well, specifically, the stuff that I have to do is the Pokemon Go Community Day. So, we can swap into, not Quackavale, we'll swap into Cerulege for this. It's Noibat Day, folks, so get out there and catch some Noibats. Once it's 2 PM in your local time zone. That's what I'm going to be doing. I wouldn't normally stream at this time, it's just, you don't have Pokemon Go on your phone anymore? What, it just doesn't fit anymore? It doesn't run anymore? What's the deal? My voice will clear up in a few minutes, folks, don't worry. Ah, your parents don't want to, fair enough. That sucks, but it is what it is. Hopefully we're all doing well. I'm doing pretty good. It's the weekend, so I can't complain. Now, Flittle Shiny is kind of annoying because you have to look really close to actually see it. One thing I will mention is we're actually coming towards the end of my time with Pokemon Violet, at least until they bring out the DLC. So I'm probably going to do... Well, I'm obviously doing this stream, and I think I'll do one more week, and then I'm going to move on to something else. I haven't decided what yet, though. At least until the DLC comes out, then we'll come back to it. We can always come back every now and then, but it's not going to be a weekly thing anymore. Yeah, it's been ages since I played this. I don't think I've played since the last stream. Pokemon Scarlet is what I'm going to change to? No, I don't think so. Or switch to like a different long form game. That would be funny. We'll see how we go. I've got a few things. Maybe I'll do some shorter stuff for a while. But we'll see. It's mainly because I want a bit of a break from Pokemon. Once the DLC comes out, we'll come back and we'll go hard on it again for sure, but just want to mix things up a little bit. So you got still this week and next week, so don't stress. There's still plenty of stuff for Poke fans out there. And we'll be still doing the Blacephalon, the raids for Blacephalon, which seems like it's going to go forever. Want to shiny hunt the Paradox ones? Yeah. I'd love to get all the shiny Scarlet Paradox ones, but it is what it is. The issue with it being a sandstorm is I can't really tell, like, at all, if they're shiny or not, because I can barely see. The thing I hate about shiny hunting, like, this area has some really good shinies in it, don't get me wrong, but actually shiny hunting in this area is kind of a pain in the ass. Kind of makes me wish that this game had like a real time thing. I'll explain what I mean by that. I wish it went by like real time instead of like its own in-game clock. And like it would be particular hours at sandstorms, like in black and white, right? Because in black and white and other Pokemon games, it would rain at particular times, it would sandstorm at particular times. And you could predict it to some extent, right? But, yeah. This game is sort of all over the place. Probably the one thing that I really don't get about this game at all. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, why did they do it like this? But the one thing that sticks out to me is, why can't you skip time? Like, they make a big deal about saying, like, oh, here's your bed at the school. And then they're like, but it's actually useless. You may as well just go to the Pokemon Center. Like, what's the point? Like, if it could skip between day and night, that would make perfect sense. But as it stands, there's literally no reason to go back to your room. It's one of a fair few decisions in this game that don't really make sense to me. If anyone has like a good answer for why, I don't know. But you guys doing raids? Good luck, good luck. Luck with the raids, folks. Within the first little bit, my voice will clear up, so if I sound like a weirdo, that's why. Hey, Kizu, how you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day or night. And hopefully you're taking care too. Hey, Marble. Yeah, doing streaming it a bit earlier time because I got stuff to do later. But good to see you too. Yeah, it's always probably the big weakness on my schedules is there's a large chunk of viewers that pretty much could never make my streams. So I'm glad that at least a few extra people can catch us at this time. So hopefully you're doing okay, Marble. It's been a little while since we talked, I think. Hopefully you're hanging in there, doing okay. Any of these guys the shiny? I can't even tell. It's so small. This Pokemon is so small, it's so hard to see. If you guys want to do raid planning, it's probably better to do it in like a DM so that it doesn't get lost in chat messages and stuff like that. You can tab out of the stream, it's all good. Just having your raid chat DMs makes it a lot easier to keep track of what everyone's doing. Yeah, it took me forever to get my first shiny for this. This is the first thing you shiny hunted. Yeah. I was shiny hunting this for ages, and then I ended up getting it. But I'm trying to see if I can get a second. Same with a lot of shinies. Early stream in the morning. Yes, welcome Harold. Hello, good morning. Streaming at a slightly different time today because I've got stuff to do. Like, it's like kind of misleading me saying I've got stuff to do. It sounds like I got important stuff to do. I'm just gonna be playing the Pokemon Go community day later, so. Not really like anything like super important, it's just like I'm pushing my Pokemon stream time around so I can play more Pokemon. You know? It's kind of funny actually. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing good. Including you, Harold. Hopefully... How come you're up so early, Harold? Do you normally get up at this time on weekends? No school, that's more reason to sleep in, right? Like, on work days I normally get up at 5:30, but on weekends I get up at like 8 or sometimes 9. You still stick to your school schedule. Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's actually what you should do, really. Really, you should stick to the same sleep schedule so you don't get, like, I guess it could be considered, like, a minor case of jet lag, right? If you're, like, constantly switching up when you're sleeping and stuff like that. So it makes sense to stick to the same schedule. It's smart. Too bad I'm not smart. And I keep changing up when I go to sleep and stuff like that. You got used to it, auto wakes you up. Yeah, I always wake up around 5 o'clock. But on weekends I go back to sleep. Alrighty. So, as always, just shiny hunting today. I always hope for at least 2 shinies when I do these sorts of streams, so fingers crossed. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a really awkward outbreak. Yeah. They're spawning in the pit and on top of the pit, which is a little annoying. But this weekend's been pretty good. Can't complain. I got some good rest after my first full-time week back at work this year. And I do have Golden Go in my party as well. I'm trying to level up Golden Go. Very slow. It's a slow and steady process, but it is leveling up, believe me. Yeah, this weekend's been pretty restful. I've cut back a bit on streaming, so I only did 1 stream yesterday instead of the 2 that I would normally do. And I'll probably keep that up for the next few weeks, until I get back into the swing of things. So, looks like we're going to be at around 4 streams a week. Which is pretty good. I typically aim for 5, but I think 4 is fine. Just got too much other stuff to do, you know? Which I would love to stream every day. I've got just too much stuff to do. Shiny is like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look. Make it look what? Shiny will spark like a woman's neck. Just a sec. Hey, like, is this like freestyle rap? If so, you're doing really well. Shiny like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look shiny. I will sparkle like a woman's neck. Just a sec. What? Harold spitting bars, yeah. They call me the Eminem of the Neko Kingdom. Not the biggest Eminem fan, to be honest. He's got some good stuff, but I wouldn't say that I'm a big fan of his work overall. What's coming up next week? Next week we're doing more Blacephalon Hunt. It's going to be the 6th stream, and I will be back to solos for that. It's a lyric from Moana 2016. Why do you have to specify 2016? Is there another Moana? Like, did they make Moana 2? The legend continues. Thank you for the reminder, Nightbot. Everyone should join the Discord if they're not already a member. It's the best way to stay up to date with what I'm doing. You get notifications when I go live if you so choose. Moana 2 The Lost Island. Is that a real thing? Or did you just make that up? So I didn't know there was a Moana sequel. Is The Rock still in it? Did he still do his eyebrow thing? There's a trailer. Ah, it's coming out. Okay, okay. So I was gonna say, I'm sure I would have heard if it came out, but there's a trailer for it. Fair enough, fair enough. So it's in the works, as they say. Fair enough. I've heard the first one was pretty good, but I haven't really watched a lot of films in recent years. I've mostly watched like older stuff I haven't seen yet. So like a couple days ago, I watched. What was that? A couple weeks ago, I watched Your Name, which was really good. Kimi no Nawa. What else have I watched recently? The last Digimon movie, that was really good. Digimon Last... What's it called? Last Evolution. What else have I watched recently? Lots of good stuff. But they're all older things. Belle? I watched Belle. The anime movie. That was really good. But yeah, I haven't really watched a lot of, not Beale, Belle. It's I think it was released on maybe Netflix, but it's Japanese. That was really good. Also rewatched The Room for like the 4th time. Although the person I was watching it with didn't appreciate it the same way that I did. The internet sucks. I'm sorry to hit that, Harold. I got a shiny Torkoal last week, that was cool. Torkoal's a cool shiny. I like Torkoal. Not my favorite Pokemon, but a good shiny. I remember an episode of the Pokemon anime where how went it again? Oh god. That's rough. I do remember an episode of the Pokemon anime where I think it was Ash was fighting. I can't remember which gym leader it was. I think it was the fire gym leader in Hoenn. And she had a Torkoal and he lost to her, but then he realized later that like every time that she used Overheat, it obviously got weaker, like in the game, right? Flannery, thank you. Yeah. And like he realized that every time it used Overheat, it was getting weaker. Like, because obviously in the game, it lowers its special attack when it uses Overheat, right? It's the same deal. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a good callback to the games. And he ended up winning in the end because of that like revelation. I don't know why that just came back to me, but I just remembered Torkoal, and then I have this memory of Torkoal from that episode of the anime, I guess. I remember the weirder stuff. The thing about memory is you technically don't forget, like, anything. It's all still there. It's just a matter of access. Right? Like, everything that you know, everything that you've learnt is in your brain somewhere. If it's been committed to long-term memory, of course, but it's a matter of access. So sometimes you need triggers to remember stuff, or keywords or cues. But it's in there. It's in there somewhere. Just as you get older, it's harder to use those neurons. Which is why, for those of you who are in school, it's important to do revision, because that keeps the neurons fresh. So it's easy to remember stuff because the connections are used more often. It's the same as, like, working out at the gym, right? If you stop working out at the gym, your muscles will atrophy, right? In the same way, if you don't use your brain muscles will atrophy too. So you won't remember stuff as easily. Just throwing that out there. I don't know why. I don't know why I've gone on a rant about brains. You don't work out a lot, you're decently strong. I'll give you, like, a better example. Imagine if you just stayed in bed for a month and you didn't move. Your muscles are gonna, like, stop working. In the same way, when you go on, like, summer holidays for school, you don't do any revision, your brain is gonna completely, like, go back to where it was probably before the start of the year. Gonna look because of an internet issue. I'm sorry to hit that. Hopefully the internet will pick up again. We'll be live for a little while, so fingers crossed that things will work out for you, Harold. Alright, so that was the Rufflet outbreak, so still no shiny. That's not too bad because those were double ups. This is the one that I really want. Alright, let's give it a go. Electric. So Electric's shiny is very similar. It's like there's, like, markings on its face that instead of being yellow are like a lime green sort of color. So it's almost, I want to say it's impossible to tell, but it's very hard to tell. But we'll give it our best. Electros is shiny. Yeah, the final form's shiny looks really good. It's just that the baby and intermediate form is very hard to tell that it's shiny. The final form's shiny is amazing. But, like, with Tynamo, with how small it is, it's hard enough to even see the Pokemon, let alone to be able to tell if it's the shiny version or not. But these guys are a bit bigger, at least. Oh! That is the shiny! The first thing I fight! That is amazing. What the hell is that luck? Somebody clip that, please. No way. Like, I sent my Pokemon out there, and it didn't fight. I was like, that's weird. And then it attacked me, and it just didn't. Oh my god. I don't know how to clip when I'm streaming, but if somebody could clip that, that'd be awesome. Well, there we go. There's the shiny. Wow, the first cap off the rank. That has got to be some kind of luck. After I'd just gone on a rant about how hard it is to tell whether it's the shiny or not, it's just like, hey, I'm here. That is incredible. That is amazing. Ruby, you just missed. You just missed me getting a shiny electric. I just came up to the outbreak and the first one that I found was the was the shiny. Hopefully somebody clipped it, but I'm not sure if anyone did. Your luckiest was a 2 picnic reset Noibat, which is about 20 minutes. Hey, that's really good. 20 minutes for a shiny is really good. That is just too lucky, honestly. Not 10 minutes, sorry, 20 seconds. 20 seconds is amazing for a shiny. Let's have a quick look at him. Yeah, there he is. So it's 'cause you can see around its eyes, it's like green instead of yellow. But it's very hard to tell that it's shiny. But that is awesome. Roll up to the outbreak. First Pokemon that attacks me is the friggin' shiny. That is just too good. That is priceless. I gotta end the stream now and I'd be happy because that was such a great moment. They see me rolling. Hayden. Whose song is that? It's not Soldier Boy, is it? Wait, is it? It's 50 Cent, right? Is it 50 Cent? I don't think it's Soldier Boy. I think it may be 50 Cent, but I could be wrong. The name is weird. You looked it up. Uh-huh. Yeah. Are you guys streaming later, by the way? Ah, Chamillionaire. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware of Chamillionaire. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Ruby, are you guys streaming later or? Honestly, how are you actually supposed to tell, like, at a distance, that whether they're shiny or not? I actually have no idea how you're meant to tell. You guys remember when Soldier Boy tried to make a console? With Nintendo games on and stuff like that. Did I say the slideshow? What slideshow? It was on Ruby and Kusa's streams. I haven't been able to watch them the past few days because I've been out of work. Unfortunately. That's the problem with work. I can't watch all my friends' streams anymore. It's so sad. You guys are streaming a bit, that's cool. I'm there in spirit, that's true. I'm still need to figure out when we're gonna do the final shiny roulette. Yeah, I tried to key in next. Oh, is that the link marble? For the clip? Because I think since you're not VIP, you can't post links. If you can whisper it to Ruby and Ruby can post it, that would be really appreciated. Like, you can see the link, but other people just see asterisks. The link to the clip of the of me catching the shiny electric when I like literally roll up on the outbreak. Yeah, you'd do me a huge favor, Marble, if you could just Twitch whisper it to Ruby and then Ruby can post it in chat. That would be super, super cool. There we go. Thank you so much. I'm going to post this in my Discord. You can also pull up in your clip library. This is true. But I was looking just for the link so that I could very quickly post it to the Discord. Magikarp and Gyarados outbreak right next to each other. Dang. Yeah, thank you, Marble, for clipping it, and thank you, Ruby, for posting the link. It's really, really appreciated. Let's pop it in the clips. How groovy is the South Province battle music, guys? Yes, thank you so much, Marble, for clipping that. Yeah, clipping is one of the best ways you can help out streamers. So don't ever feel like, if you're a viewer, if you're like, oh man, I can't sub, you know, I feel like I'm not supporting the streamer. Don't worry about it. If you can like just view, clip, follow, like, retweet, all that sort of stuff, that's already huge. Ah, Sailor Boy, welcome. Hello Jaffa, and hello Mike. Welcome, welcome. Ah, Ducky, thank you for the follow, appreciate it a lot. Welcome, welcome, Raiders. Oh goodness, so many people. And Professional Idiot, thank you, welcome as well. Oh goodness, everything is going, everything's going all over the place. Welcome, welcome, Raiders. I'm Kaz, the cat, nice to meet you all. Hopefully you're doing awesome. You love my VTuber? Thank you, you're very kind. We just got a shiny a little bit before. I'll show it off to you guys. We got a shiny electric. Look at it. It's got green eyes. Isn't that cool? Yeah, literally we rolled up into the outbreak and got the shiny. Black cats are the best. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. Black cats are the best. Alright. I'm sorry. Well, you're playing Tomodachi Life. I've always been curious about that game. It seems really funny. Like you can get like the narratives and stuff going, which is really cool. Between like the characters. I never played it personally, but I've seen people play it, and it always looks like a really fun time. It's like a very funny game. It's cursed, yeah, it can be cursed sometimes, I'm sure. You can like import characters, right? Like you don't have to make them all yourself. Is there an anime about it? Tomodachi Life? Really? I don't know about that, but it's possible. It's cursed. Yes. But stuff that's cursed is still fine. But for those of you who don't know me, who came in from the raid, I'm Kaz the Cat. I stream a few times a week. A lot of Pokemon and stuff like that. And just generally games with friends as well. So if you like Pokemon or RPGs in general, or you like watching collabs with lots of crazy people, do consider dropping a follow and coming by more often. You know, Lucas playing Pokemon Unite, what a legend. I'll probably be playing Pokemon Unite with him later. You chose Psyduck, you love it? Yeah, Psyduck is really cute. And yes, as Ducky has pointed out, you can choose which Pokemon you want to appear as on the screen. So if you are on PC, you can scroll down below the screen and you will see a box that says Stream Avatars. You can pick which Pokemon that you want to be. It can be most Pokemon. Some Pokemon aren't available yet, and a few Pokemon are locked behind being a subscriber or VIP of the channel. But please do enjoy. If you're on mobile, there is a way to change it too. Harold, do you want to explain how to do it on mobile? Ducklet wasn't in the air there. They're still adding Pokemon as time goes on. To the pack. Not quite every Pokemon's there, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm sure they'll get to it eventually. Ducklet is kind of an underrated Pokemon, I feel like. And its evolution Swanna. I got a shiny Swanna in Pokemon Ultra Sun. Your Growlithe, nice. Hey, Luca. How you doing? We got a shiny Electric just before, Luca. We'll post the clip in chat for anyone who missed it. And big thanks to Marble for clipping it for us. So if you missed the shiny, that clip shows the moment when we got it. You should really get to bed, it's turning to midnight. Ah, yeah, for sure. One final little shout out I'll do is to my Discord. So if you would like to hang out or to stay up to date with what I'm doing and what I'm up to, do consider joining the Discord. It's the best way to stay in touch with me and to keep an eye out on what I'm doing. Alright, so that outbreak is actually over already. Cool. Well, we did get one shiny already, which is good. I always aim for at least 2 or 3 shinies though. Is there anything else I really want right now, or should we do some resets? Yeah, I've already got 2 shiny Glimmets. I don't need any more. Already got the full shiny Clawitzer line. And I've already got a shiny Bombardier. Okay, let's do some resets, folks. My favorite part of these streams is breaking the game by using this very strange exploit. It's not really an exploit, I guess it's sort of an intended feature, but... Alrighty, what have we got? We had Misdreavus, Ghastly, Noibat, who I've got already, Venomoth, who I've got already, Dragapult. Is it nighttime or is it daytime? It's nighttime. Alright, let's go for the Misdreavus outbreak. Hey Jaffa, thanks for the follow, appreciate it a lot. Welcome to the Cousin Yarns. Hopefully enjoy your time here. Alrighty. Let's go get this Misdreavus outbreak. No, not Quackafall. But I'm really looking forward to the DLC for these games. I think the more I play Pokemon Violet, the more I really enjoy it. It's still not perfect by any means, but the more I play, the more I like it. Okay, here's the Misdreavus outbreak, and let's go. Misdreavus' shiny is yellow, I believe. Like, a lot of the shinies in Gen 2, it's either purple or yellow, I feel like. I guess they did that because it fit well with the color palette of the Game Boy Color, right? Were Gold, Silver, and Crystal on the Game Boy Color or just the Game Boy? I think it was Game Boy Color, right? I only have ever had a Game Boy Advance. Not the SP. Just Game Boy Advance. And my copy of Silver, the battery died, so I lost all my progress. I know you can replace the batteries in those games to, like, bring them back to life, but nah, it's not worth the hassle. You need to, like, unscrew the back of the cartridge and carefully pull out the battery and put it back in. It's just like, nah, it's too much effort. It's something that's kind of scary to think about. as time goes on, it's eventually going to get to the point where all of, like, everyone's, like, DS carts and stuff like that, and Game Boy carts are just going to, like, die. And, like, all of your, you know, Pokemon adventures and all that sort of stuff is just going to be gone. That's scary to think about. I remember I went back to play Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS after many years. And when I opened up the game, it said the save file was corrupted, and I lost everything. It's like, bruh. Hey, Exit. How in the ever-loving god are you streaming already? I woke up a bit early. I wouldn't normally stream at this time on a Sunday, but every couple of weeks I'll stream at this time because like something else is on, or I just feel like knocking the stream out earlier. Hopefully you're doing alright. Hopefully you've rested well. Yeah, for reference, chat, I streamed just last night as well. So, I've had 2 streams in less than 12 hours. You need more sleep? Yeah, if you need more sleep, go get it. Some people sleep during my streams. So feel free to use this stream as some white noise to get some rest too. Hey, Lafarian, thanks for the head pat. It's too hot? Whereabouts are you in Australia? You're Australian, right? I'm pretty sure you said you were Australian yesterday. Whereabouts are you? Because it's quite cool here, actually. I'm in Vic right now. You hate farming this one? Yeah, I hate farming a lot of the ghost types. Queensland, that explains it, yeah. It's always hot up there, right? Yeah, the north is getting a crazy, like, I don't want to call it a heat wave, but it is kind of a heat wave right now. Like, even, like, Sydney is, like, quite hot too, from what I can tell. But the very south is, like, okay, so, like, Victoria, Tasmania are, like, cool, but the rest of the country is quite hot right now, which is really weird. So the thing with Miss Drevis is it only appears at night, so we're going to try and rush through the outbreak to try and get it. 30 degrees every morning, jeepers. And that's Celsius, folks, so if you're from America, we're not talking about Fahrenheit. Oh, there's the shiny, there's the shiny! Yay! Hello, Miss Drevis. Look at that. 2 shinies, that's pretty good. It's not getting caught, dang. Yeah, these are repeat ball. That's the meta. The first Pokeball you throw at a Pokemon is a quick ball. Then every Pokeball after that is a repeat ball, if you've caught it already, of course. Why is it being so difficult? It's level 13. Yeah, the summer down here has not been actually too bad. It's been actually a pretty mild summer. Why is it still not getting caught? There we go, finally. Alright, sweet. There were some really hot days, but I feel like overall it was a pretty cool summer. Like, I would say less than a third of days were like what I would consider hot. Hotter than last year. Really? Maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like this summer wasn't as bad. Last year was super cool. Oh my goodness, that's another shiny! What the heck? No, 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 no. You're not allowed to get away. You're not allowed to get away. You're not allowed to get away. Bro, that's 2 shinies in like a minute. Well, there's the Mischievous line got, so we don't need to worry about getting another Mischievous or another Mismagus. That's 2 of them. Jeez. Look about lucky. It's not a bad shiny, actually. It's not a bad shiny at all. That's 2 shinies from the same outbreak. That's super lucky. And that's the full Mischievous family, so we can evolve one of those and keep one of them as its baby form, and then we have them both shiny. The full family. Well, I mean, it depends whether you count Paradox Mischievous as part of the family. Is Paradox Mischievous the one that's like glitched, where it's like super easy to get the shiny? I think it is, right? Is it Brute Bonnet? No, it's not Brute Bonnet. It's Screaming Tail or whatever, right? Nobody knows. No, I'm sure people know. I remember one of the Scarlet Paradoxes is like glitched. Like the shiny, it's like only the shiny will appear if it's like certain conditions. Yeah. It's not that it's glitched, it's that if you use a shiny sandwich, I think if you use a shiny sandwich during the day, yeah, Fluttermane, that's it. If you use a shiny sandwich during the day, it's the only thing that can appear, is the shiny version of it. Because normally because it's a ghost, it would only appear at night, right? And it's the only ghost that can appear in a particular part of Area 0, right? But for whatever reason, that means that the only possible spawn is shiny Fluttermane. Screamtail is, Wigglytuff, I'm remembering now. So, yeah. It's like the only thing that could spawn. Yeah, if you got Scarlet, I would recommend you get on it ASAP before, there's videos that explain how to do it if you're like, I'm not sure. But I would get on it before they release the big patch in February, because I have a feeling they're going to fix it up. Correct, if you use a level 3 Ghost Sandwich at a certain spot, the game glitches and nothing spawns, period. You just run around until the shiny shows up. Yeah, it's quite like it doesn't appear like instantly. It's not like there's like 10 of them or anything like that. It'll appear after a little while. But it will appear like within a couple minutes, I believe. Alright, sweet. That's 2 more shinies. That's 3 shinies already. That's really good. Don't really care for Ghastly that much. Let's go for Dragapult, why not? I think this is Dragapult. Or is Dragapult the fully evolved one? I can never remember which one's which. I know Dreepy is the baby. Dracloak. Dragapult is the final form. Okay. We have to use our... You hate farming these ones the most? Yeah. This like whole family is really annoying to shiny hunt because they fade in and out of existence. It's frustrating for sure. Yeah, that's true. The baby is very annoying. I did actually catch a shiny Dreepy. I do have a shiny Dragapult in Pokemon Gen 8. But it's almost certainly hacked. I got it from a Wonder Trade. It was level 100 with perfect IVs, and it's shiny, so... You know. Almost certainly hacked. So I'm not going to put it in Pokemon Pokemon home. I don't want to risk getting banned. Probably the most tame area in as well. And yeah, they usually spawn in like really cursed, like little rivers and stuff like that. This is actually not bad because at least it's flat, so I can see all the spawns. The worst part about them is the you get a shiny Gyarados? Nice. Shiny Gyarados is a cool one for sure. It's the OG, like, the shiny, right? Well, you know what I mean. It's the one that most people are familiar with. Yeah, Gyarados is a cool shiny. So congrats, man. How many more shinies do we think I'll get today, folks? We've already gotten 3, which is, sometimes that's like more than I get in a stream. How many more shinies do we think are on the cards? I reckon we'll get at least 1 more. 4 is like a solid amount. Maya does the best Gimme Ghoul impression, I swear. I wonder when they're going to add Gimme Ghoul properly into Pokemon Go. They said they would. So I believe, from what I understand, Gimme Ghoul's roaming form, so the form where he's just walking around with 1 coin, is only going to be catchable in Pokemon Go. At least for a while. That's pretty neat. Actually, like, announced the Pokemon through Pokemon Go, which I thought was really cool. Like, some Pokestops just turned orange, and when you spun them, you got a coin, and he started following you around. Couldn't interact with it in any way, but I thought it was really cool. Gee, this is an annoying one to shiny hunt because they keep disappearing. You can't actually tell whether they're shiny or not because they literally phase out of existence. I wonder why they made ghost Pokemon do this. Did they just do it to make it hard to, like, hunt big groups of them or something? I don't really get it. Like, I get that they're ghosts, right, but still kind of weird. been going back to Legends since Scarlet Violet came out. I think Legends is the more polished game, but I think Scarlet Violet is more fun. The only thing I really miss from Legends is the shiny sound. The shiny sound in that game is just like pure, like euphoria. Just gonna thought that was a shiny, but I think it was just the way the shadows were playing off it. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. The like encounter chaining in this game is kind of insane. No, we're gonna get chained into another one. Stop. I should just kill them really, but that one looks slightly different. Oh, come on. Are you serious? That's like 5 in a row. Come on, I want to check that. There's like one over there that I really want to check. I'm gonna get brought into another one. Why? Stop. Oh my god, it's that one like right back there. It looks like it's a slightly different color, but I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get to it. Nah, it just ended up being normal, bruh. After all that. There should be like a delay when you can get dragged into a fight, honestly. Even like half a second, please. There's a lot of stuff that they should do to this game. Whether they actually do it or not, I don't know. A shiny sound will be much appreciated, but I feel like they won't. Fixing up the raids, they really should do. Or at least tightening them up. Like, I think the raids are fun. I like the strategy element of it. But they need to like tidy it up a little bit. Like the lag is like ridiculous at times. Like I shouldn't have to play on like a LAN to like have a raid where it doesn't lag a lot. And obviously the frame rate is probably the biggest area of improvement. We shall see. I believe that there's a patch coming at the end of this month. Where they'll announce all the changes. And they'll probably announce the DLC too, right? Or at least give us like titles for the DLC. But I'm optimistic. Hey Zonum, how you doing? It's quite early. No, it's in the afternoon for you, right? Oh wait. No, isn't it very early for you? Is it like 2 AM or 3 AM? You're very tired, yeah. Isn't it like super early? Maybe 4 AM. What time is it, Zonum, for you? AM, gee. It's even further back than I thought. Outbreak is dispersed. Yeah, welcome all the same. Hopefully, you're doing okay. Although if you're awake at 3 AM. I don't know if everything's 100% okay, but hopefully you're getting it there. Alrighty, no shinies there, that's okay. You're not sleeping? Ah, that's a pity. Yeah, I know the feeling. Some days I just can't sleep. Are there any other outbreaks I want to do? I've got Venomoth, I've got 2 Noibats. Ghastly would be at night, and I don't really want to hunt Ghastly to begin with, so... Oops. Date skip, date skip. Go. Date skip, boys. Reset all the outbreaks. Yeah, what do we got now? Okay, Rufflet we can do, because I want a second one. Did I sleep? Oh, I slept pretty well, actually, yeah. Bob Blue. It's just literally Rufflet from this one that I want. Right. Oh, Frostmoth. Frostmoth's a good one, actually. It's pretty late right now. It's pretty early right now. It's 10 AM. It's 10 AM. It's super early. I've got the clock at the top right of the screen. Oh, but hopefully you're doing okay. I'm since it broke it to you. Yeah, I feel that. Hopefully you're doing alright. Hopefully you've been, things have been picking up a little bit. Greetings to the Pacific Coast. Greetings. Good. Afternoon, right? Or is it evening? I suppose like they're sort of interchangeable, right? 3 PM. Oh yeah, so it's dead on afternoon. It's 9 AM. No, it's 10 AM. You can see the clock. The clock is in the top right. You can see the time. It's 10. It's not 9. We've got daylight savings. Afternoon is between 12 and 5. Evening is after 5. That makes sense. I feel like I'm usually under that like... I think I would more say it's like 6 is evening, but that's fair. But I also know some people use them sort of interchangeably. But yeah. Evenings around that like 5, 6 for sure. When the sun starts to go down, that sort of thing. Yeah, hopefully you're doing okay. Aye. You getting by? Yeah, sometimes that's all that we can do. Just get through another day. But that's still an accomplishment, so... As long as you're still going, that's you know, already an achievement in itself, right? Your therapist, hey, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that you're getting some good help. That's the main thing. As long as you got somebody to support you or some strategies to help you cope, it becomes a lot easier to make it through stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's 100% true. I agree with that. If 500 bad things are happening, focus on the one good thing. Yeah. It's the complete opposite. You're saying 500 good things are happening, but 1 bad thing's happening, and you're focusing on the bad. Maybe not 500 good things, but yeah, I get you. I mean, in general, people focus on negatives. It's how we're wired, I think. It's something that we have to, like, learn not to do. But it's definitely a lot easier to focus on the bad than the good. We have much more of a visceral reaction to bad stuff than good stuff. Like, when you're happy, you feel good, right? But when you feel bad, you feel terrible. You know? Like, something bad happens, like, literally, like, your stomach, like, churns. You, like, breathe much more heavily. You know, you feel in physical pain at times, right? But when you're happy, you're just like, oh, this is nice. I'll enjoy this. Seattle. Ah, nice. I don't know if I've met anybody from Seattle. I'll refrain myself from making a Sleepless in Seattle joke. I've never actually seen the film, so I probably shouldn't. I just know that the film is called Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah, I feel that. Greater Seattle Polycule. What is... what does that mean? It sounds like a, sounds like something out of the scientific. It's West US, Arizona, West US. I don't know what a polycule is, sorry. It means many something, but I don't know what fuel means. Like poly as a suffix means many. Sorry, prefix. Ah, more than 2 people in a relationship. Okay. I just thought that was polyamory, but you learn something new every day. But what does it mean, the Greater Seattle Polycule? Like, is everybody in Seattle in, like, a relationship or something? Encompasses a majority of the city. Wow, really? Something like that is actually, like, when we're saying a majority of the city, how many people are we talking about? Oh, okay, it's a joke. Okay. I was gonna say, like, if, like, you know, 50,000 people were in, like, an open sort of relationship, that would be very strange. I was thinking, that doesn't sound realistic. But, okay, if it's like a play on, like, something, that's fair enough. Interesting. The only thing I pretty much know about Seattle is there's the Seattle, like, the Needle Tower, whatever it's called. I don't know much more than that. And there's the movie Sleepless in Seattle. Those are like the 2 things I know about your city. The joke is, there you go. Fair enough. The Space Needle takes 47 minutes to make 1 full rotation. Interesting. I didn't know it was that quick, I guess. I thought it would take like a couple of hours to spin around, but there you go. I distinctly remember, and I don't know whether this is true or I'm just misremembering. I remember eating at a Pizza Hut that spun around. I don't know if I've gone crazy, but I distinctly remember that. Do you know an Australian YouTuber named Jonathan Ong? No, I do not. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube anymore. What shinies did you miss? I thought for a second that was Rufflet shiny, but I think you saw the electric. We got 2 Miss Drevises in the same outbreak, which is really cool. So I was super stoked with that. How do you feel about American accents? I don't know many West Coast accents. The only things that I really know is like the typical, like, you know, New York accent. Typical sort of like Southern accents. Then there's like the Louisiana accent. But I don't know a lot of your accents, to be honest. New York, yeah. Although that's more, it's sort of more just like a northeast accent, right? That typical accent. Joyzy, yeah. Nouvelle York, yeah, it means New York in French. Over here we say internet. Ah, instead of internet. Interesting. I mean, in Australian English, we tend to cut out letters from words. Like, we slur stuff together. Like, some people don't say Australia, they say Straya. Straya. Baby long neck for breakfast. Get Get that up, yeah. The glottal fixation from the old country. I don't even know what that means. It sounds interesting. Glottal stop is in the throat. I like the epiglottis, right? Yeah. Val de Sud. 2 goals south. Okay. Hawaii. Hawaii. Yeah. Hawaii. Okay, okay. Interesting. I'm learning a lot today. Hey, Harold, welcome back. Hopefully internet's working a little better. You think about the French accent? I mean, I think it's a perfectly fine accent. I don't think about it regularly, but... it's one of the most, like, mispronounced accents, I think, in human history. Like, everybody thinks they can do a French accent, but it all sounds horrible. Your girlfriend is French, so you have romantic feelings for it. But you don't like France, neither does she, fair. Like, is she from France? French? Or... like, French-Canadian? Just French background? She lives in France. Ah, okay, LDR. Fair enough, fair enough. That's cool. France has many things that ruin the vibes. Ah. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I would pronounce it as eh. But I have a feeling that's probably not correct. But that's from my knowledge of, like, Italian or Spanish. That would be how that would be pronounced there. Can you pronounce blahage correctly? It's like blo, right? That like the A with the thing over is like o, sort of. So it's like blahage, blahage, or something like that. I'm pretty sure that the A with the O over it is like an... yeah, blahai. Okay, there we go. I was close. I knew it was pronounced like an O. Because there's a part of Sweden, which is SK, that letter, NE. It's like scorn. So I knew that part, but yeah, blahai. Okay. I don't know what it means though, so... hopefully I didn't say anything inappropriate. If I said anything inappropriate, I apologize. It means shark in Swedish. Ah. A French YouTuber, JDG. Yeah, again, I don't watch a lot of YouTube, and if I'm gonna watch YouTube, I tend to watch YouTubers who speak a language I can understand. It's a limited edition IKEA plushie. Ah, so it's like the Djungelskog. That's cool though. The blahai. Jet. Canadian one in the colours of the trans flag. She's so cute. That's cute. Nice. It's kind of funny that, like, IKEA, like, the most that I've heard of IKEA in the past, probably, like... is this a glitched outbreak? Oh no, here they are. The most I've heard about IKEA in, like, probably, like, the past 2 years has been, like, because of the Djungelskog. Like, I don't hear about people talking about, hey, you know, I went down to IKEA to get some furniture. I hear people on the internet talking about, oh, how cute is the Jungle Skog? Like, they're a furniture shop, but they're, like, known for their plushies now, which is kind of funny. French Quebec, horrible accent. You don't like the Quebecois accent? Very, very popular in the trans community. Ah, okay. How come? Like, because it was in the different colors, or... Like, did they make it in the different colors after it became popularized in the community, I guess? Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it popular in the community and then they made the colors? Or they made it in the colors? I couldn't tell you if I've heard somebody speak Quebecois. I honestly couldn't begin to tell you what that would sound like. Like programmer socks, boy modding. I don't even know what that is. Shaped eyebrows, monster energy. I know there's other things. I don't know what boy modding is. I don't know if I want to know. As long as it's like stream appropriate, I don't mind talking about it. But if it's like something that's like, you know, monk ass, it's probably for a conversation off stream, not on stream. Quebecois French is to French as Mexican Spanish is to Spanish. Okay. We had a viewer yesterday who was Mexican and it was talking about Mexican Spanish. It's interesting that we've gone back on the language train again today. It's like a continuation almost of the Brazilian Portuguese to Portuguese. Yeah. It's like a continuation of last night's stream, which is kind of strange. Louisianan French is to French. Do many people in Louisiana speak French? I thought that wasn't necessarily the case. But then yeah, I don't know terribly much about large parts of the United States. What does this shiny actually look like? I should actually see what the shiny looks like, so I don't miss it. Okay, it's like green, so it should be pretty obvious. Try an interview with Celine Dion. Now you see, the thing is, like, if I listen to somebody speaking French, Quebecois French, I probably am not going to be able to tell the difference because I don't really know French that well, right? So, like, to me, it's going to sound like, okay, it sounds slightly different, but I can't really tell specifically what's different. It's the same as, like, somebody who doesn't know any English. If they heard somebody from New Zealand or the UK or Australia, they'd probably think, like, these people are all speaking exactly the same. Or 50s ASL compared to modern ASL. It evolved, really? ASL? It's interesting. Language change over time except Icelandic. Yeah, Icelandic is basically the same as, like, Old Norse, right? Which is really interesting. How they maintained a language for basically a millennia. Yeah, it's almost the same. Yeah, still. It's because of the relative isolation, right? I say relative isolation because obviously they weren't, like, completely isolated, but... Yeah, exactly what you're saying. They purposely try to keep it like that way? Oh, really? Yes, I think that's what Ava's saying as well. Interesting. I mean, I get it. Like, if they're particularly proud of their language or history and stuff like that, I can understand the desire to, like, maintain it, right? I mean, even in France, I think there's a big push to, like mainland France, there's a big push to, like, preserve the French language and stuff like that by various groups. They don't like English loanwords and stuff like that. Pokemon, but -1 FPS, yes. Welcome, Nippy. Hopefully you're doing okay. Yeah, I think that's the. I think the French government is similar. Ava. Yeah, they make new Icelandic words, not from other languages. Yeah, I think the French government tries to do the same thing. I don't know whether they're quite as successful, but that's. I mean, that's interesting. Like, I'm not necessarily going to say it's right or wrong. In the end, it's their country. I'm not from Iceland. I can't decide for them. But it is interesting that they would go that far to protect their language, or to maintain the language, I suppose, is what I should say. Interesting. It's notoriously difficult to learn, and few people teach Icelandic. So it's almost like they're gatekeeping the language then. That's interesting. And you have to learn it to move there. Ah. Yes, yes, yes. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down. So it's deliberately making it hard. Interesting. I actually do kind of want this shiny frost mod, so I'm probably going to grind this outbreak. I have no idea what my counter is up to though, so... fingers crossed I don't actually end the outbreak. That's cool. Do I like ear scritches? Yes. If you give me the head pat redeem, I'd be very happy. Have you been clicker trained? I don't know what that means. Hey, thank you for the head pats. Appreciate it. Ah. When cat and dog owners alike perform. Also both? But what is it? It's a way to get them to do tricks. Acadians speak French. Ah, I've heard of the Acadian people. Like Acadians as like a local group. Interesting. You see a clicker. You click a clicker, they do something, you reward them with a treat. Oh, so it's like Pavlov's dog's experiment with the bell, right? It's the same principle. So you get the dogs to associate being given a reward with the sound. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, it's classical conditioning. I'm familiar with the concept. It's the same as like people who use like a spray bottle or like cats, right? Like when the cat does something wrong, you spray them with like water or whatever. It's the same principle. They learn to associate the behavior with would it be classical? It is classical conditioning, no? Hey, thanks for the head pats again. Would it not be classical conditioning? Operant. Maybe it is operant. I always got the two confused. No, but isn't it you're associating the... No, you're right, because classical conditioning was... Wait, what's the difference again? Luke is the psychology guy between the two of us. We both studied it, but he studied it at a higher... do the community speak French? No, not really. As on them. Most people don't speak French here. Like, there are people who speak French, but I wouldn't say it's any significant amount. Fair enough, Ava. I don't know if we needed to necessarily know that, but thank you for sharing. What languages other than English? I mean, people speak all sorts of languages here, but English is the primary one. Shiny Frostmoth. I know what it looks like, but I don't know how it looks in the game. Oh, it's platonic as well. Okay, I assumed it was just... I assumed it was just Monk S. That's my bad for not knowing that. It's an operant. For a second I thought that was a shiny Weavile. I didn't think that operant was giving a consequence strictly. I know there's positive and negative reinforcement that are part of operant conditioning, but to be honest, I don't necessarily remember what operant conditioning is. I know it was Skinner who did operant conditioning, but I couldn't tell you what it is. The thing about cats is all attention is positive attention. They don't understand negative attention because cats are autistic. Really? This is not the first time I've heard this line of reasoning. Is there actually like a scientific basis for this, or are people just associating traits with autism with cats? Because keep in mind that autism is a human condition, right? If there's a scientific basis of this, then I'm happy to stand corrected, but it isn't exclusive to humans. Okay, okay. How am I supposed to tell, like, the shiny? it's like green, but I can't really tell the difference. Maybe I'm just blind. Okay, so its eyes are like actually green. Okay. If it has been slightly, yeah, fair enough. I'm willing to stand corrected. It's not theoretical. We see it in their neurological patterns. All right, all right. As long as there's a scientific basis for it, I'm willing to at least hear about it. But like, if people are just saying, "Oh, they're kind of acting like the way like a person with autism would act," I'm like, that's not scientific. But fair enough. If there's a scientific basis for it, you know these things. Fair enough. Fair enough. I always like learning new stuff. I consider myself a lifelong learner. Above all else. A ticket money with grey cat we want. Huh? What do you mean, Zonim? What do you actually want? Anybody who hates cats is never to be trusted under any circumstance. I feel like anybody who just, without good reason, dislikes any particular, like, domesticated animal is probably, like, a bit suspicious. Like, if you're, like, attacked by a cat or a dog and you have, like, a genuine, like, traumatic experience with them and you don't like them as a result, that's fair enough. Like, let's say you're a kid and you had one of your eyes scratched out by a cat. And as a result, you don't like them. That's reasonable. Because obviously, something happened that caused you to dislike them. And it's pretty reasonable to not like something that hurt you. But I get what you're saying. I think cats isn't the same as hating cats. Minus 78 degrees? I hope you're talking about Fahrenheit, not Celsius, because if that's Celsius, like, I think your body would just turn to an icicle at that point. How cold does it get in Antarctica? As a side note. I still love the story of Greenland, how they just like, they called it Greenland to encourage settlement. Or to encourage people to move there, and then it was like a hellish, just like, nightmare land. No, well, I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean. There's Eric the Red. You gotta respect the hustle. Try to get that cold outside of Alaska. Alaska might as well be its own country. Really? I don't think it would survive as its own country. Isn't the population of Alaska like less than 1 million? Or am I crazy? I know it's not many people. It's extremely sparse, yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine there's a lot of people living there. It's 3 times the size of Texas. I still love those images where it's like, oh, you won't believe how big Texas is, and then they've got like the entire continent of the United States like inside like Texas. I think those are funny. Texas isn't like that big. Even though it's a meme that Texas is huge, it's not like enormous. Can fit the entire US and then some. What is that? Kaled. Feels bigger because there's nothing and it has terribly designed infrastructure. Ah, I see. You'd rather die than drive out of Texas. I've heard that like the public transport and stuff like that is really bad in Texas. Like you pretty much have to drive if you want to get anywhere. I'm guessing that's what you're referring to when you say when you say infrastructure. Terrible Maine, Texas the cold. Yes. I like Maine Coons, the cats. They're very cute. They're very big and fluffy. Minus 50 Celsius? That's not like livable, right? Surely that's not livable. Come on, I want the shiny frost moth. Let's go. Appear for me. It's not making no sense. He's using a Google Translator for everything, so if it doesn't make sense, that's why. But welcome, Maya. Hopefully you slept well. If you're enjoying just like vibing. The roads are designed like shit. The electrical grid is trying to kill people. The government is trying to kill people. They get tornadoes, blizzards, worst place. If you're a single pot seed, you get slammed with the distribution. It's just the death. I don't know if that last part's true, but I'm sure that it sounds like they're probably very strict on drugs down in the south. But I can't imagine that you get sentenced to death. The death sentence is active in Texas, yeah, but I don't think they would use it for that degree of crime, surely. They have? Damn. You've been vibing and listening to random stuff. Yeah, it's been a bit of an all over the place stream. And having some conversations about languages, a lot of stuff about the United States. That's very strange. Wonder why. If that's true. You saw an American woman who's holding a bowl of spaghetti that was frozen in minutes with the fork. No, I'm not talking bad about the US. I'm just hearing about the US from an American. I know very little about the country. But welcome, Al. Hopefully you're doing alright. I'm learning here. Whatever people say about the US is what they say about the US. It doesn't reflect any of my views. I don't really think too much about the US, to be honest, in my spare time. I've got bigger things to think about, like what I'm gonna eat for breakfast. Instead of worrying about what's happening in this other country. You good besides financially? I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully things pick up soon. I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat. In general, things aren't going too well, like in general around the world, about money and stuff like that. But let's try and put that stuff away and just enjoy vibing a little bit. Let's get the shiny frost moth. That'll help make me feel better. Ah, yeah, new school. Yeah, textbooks and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. You're trying to move to Iceland? But what's so good about living in Iceland? Like, I hate to say it, but the way that you've described the process of moving there, it almost sounds like they don't want people there. So, what's like the incentive to move there? Like, if they're making it as hard as possible for people to migrate, what's the reason to go? I guess is my question to you. Because to me, the way that you've described the process of having to move there, and like you have to learn the language, which is extremely difficult, it almost sounds like they don't want people to move there, and they're deliberately making it as hard as possible. Okay, so it's like the way the government runs and stuff like that. You're like, fair enough. So you are learning Icelandic then? Like, you've got an instructor or something? Going to a bar in Iceland as a tourist, like going to a family party in Alabama. Not like to live somewhere like Poland, US. I mean, there's a whole range of countries other than those two that you could move to. The Faroe Islands. It's spelled differently to that, but yeah. Are the Faroe Islands part of England? Or are they part of... Are they part of Norway? I actually can't remember. It's spelled Faroe though, not like the Egyptian pharaoh. Oh, it's part of Denmark. My bad, my bad. Need to live somewhere you... Yeah, fair enough. If it's a matter of survival, like, obviously, live somewhere where you're safe, right? Iceland is between the European and American plate, and suddenly, there are earthquakes, volcanoes, geysers, ice and snow. Paradoxical. There are active volcanoes on Iceland, this is true. There's the volcano with the famously long name. It's like Eyjafjallajökull or something like that. Come on, I want to get this frost moth before the stream ends. Let's go. So let me live peacefully as a plumber. Plumbers get paid quite well here. In general. In general, all trades get paid pretty well in Australia. It's hard work, obviously, but they get paid reasonably well for their efforts. Work hard to get paid good, yeah. Very true. Yeah, it makes sense, for sure. Like, there's a lot of demand for trades. There'll pretty much always be demands for trades, especially specialized trades. Like plumbing, electrical, and that sort of stuff. The US have volcanoes. Isn't that just are there active volcanoes in the continental United States? Like I'm pretty sure Alaska has some. I'm sure Alaska would have some. I don't know Hawaii has volcanoes, but oh, Yellowstone is, yeah, I actually didn't think about that. The only Australians I personally know are trash men. They earn enough to pay for that. Yeah, the garbage collectors get paid quite well here, actually. For a second, I misread that. I thought you were saying that they were like not good people. If that's what you meant, then fair enough. But I think you're talking about like the profession. Yeah, they get paid pretty well. Garbage men get paid really well there too. Yeah. I mean, it's because it's to compensate for the, you know, smell, I guess, in part. It's not a particularly appealing job for a lot of people, which is why it gets paid more. I suppose if you get used to the smell, it's like not an issue. We call them garbos here. Hey, the garbo's coming. Yellowstone vents regularly. It won't have a high chance of exploding. Ah. You're saying that Yellowstone is an imposter in Among Us. Yeah, the biohazards, that's very true. It's a good point that I didn't actually consider. Interesting, interesting. You have the lowest chance of getting consistent work in Denmark, but it's what you enjoy. What types of work are you looking for? Or is it like contract work or something like that? Because in that case, I could imagine it would be hard to find it. There you have cyclones, volcanoes. In La Reunion. Your boss lives in Scandinavia. Oh, it's freelance work, okay. Your boss lives in Scandinavia. Yeah, you work as video editor. I remember you saying that. That's cool. You just moved to Copenhagen. Oh. Conferences of photography. That sounds exciting. A job in the arts is always... If you're into that sort of stuff, it's obviously like a dream come true if you can get consistent work. Capital of Denmark. Yes, Copenhagen is the capital of Denmark. This is true. Come on, Shiny Frostmoth. I've been at this for like 30 minutes or something or more. Watch a documentary on the risks of Yellowstone and you will see one day it'll erupt as it happened thousands of years ago. That's simple. Finished a degree in events, started a master's in photography. Hey, good luck. A lot of respect to people who can commit to their studies for that long. And doing freelance work in between, yeah. It's tough. What sort of stuff would you have to do to get a master's in photography? I'm assuming you need to produce like a portfolio of work, right? I'm always curious about hearing like what different academic arts involve. Not that I ever plan to go back to studies, but you never know. Might be forced to at some point. The final exam is 25 pictures of a set of categories. And you have to classify them? Wait, this is an exam for a master's degree. You don't have to do like a portfolio or like an essay or something like that. Like a thesis. Interesting. Seems like studies are really different there than here. I think to get like a master's in Australia, like you need to do a thesis to like get any masters. Just what you've heard so far. Fair enough, fair enough. Could just be the things are different. Like I know different countries are obviously different. Different countries are different. What an amazing philosophical point. The mycelial network under Oregon, which is the largest fungal network in the world. That's cool. Extremely old. Like me, I'm extremely old. Thousands of years. Interesting. Was it fully naturally occurring, or was it cultivated by human beings? That'd be my big question. It's natural. Ah. That's very, very interesting. Your dream is event photography, yeah. That's the thing about photography, right? Like some people have taken a picture that like is going to be remembered probably for like the rest of human history. You know? Like there's some photos that like yeah, Ava, just to explain with Zonim, they're putting everything that they're typing into Google Translate because they don't speak English fluently. I think they're asking if you've been to other countries, but I could be wrong. So if Zonim comes off as like rude to anybody, they're using Google Translate, so it's like, you know, obviously Google Translate doesn't necessarily have the nuance to like ask things politely or stuff like that. It just puts things in the simplest format it can. Didn't read any emails. Okay, okay. Language is a hard, English is stupid. Yes, I'll agree with both of those statements. Come on, I want this shiny Frostmoth. Bruh. Get over here. Harold, you're still here. Welcome. Are you also at Ruby and Kusa's stream? What are they playing? They were playing Maple Story, I think, or something, right? Hey, Luke, you want to play Maple Story with me? If you're still here? What does your player profile look like? I don't know. Right now, I'm focused on getting this, this Frostmoth. I don't really want to stop to look. Glaceon's cool. I like Glaceon. I wish it wouldn't attack me when I'm trying to shiny hunt, but other than that, Glaceon's fine. This cat sounds suspiciously Australian. Yes. Hello. Are you also Australian? Abby. Hello. How are you? Oh, you're a Kiwi. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Our cousins from across the ditch. Hopefully you're doing okay. We're just shiny hunting Frostmoth right now. Are you having good luck? Yeah, I've caught 3 shinies today. I got a oh, I'll show them to you, I suppose. Frostmoth is hard to see, yeah. What did I get? I got electric, electric. It was actually the first in like the entire outbreak. It like attacked me and it was shiny, which was super lucky because you can barely tell that it's shiny. And we got 2 Misdreavuses in the same outbreak. So I was very pleased to get the electric. And now we're looking for Frostmoth. I don't know why I always keep picking hard Pokemon to... Well, it's what outbreaks appear, right? It's not like I'm picking necessarily the... Your life's on the west coast of the US. Are you going for a shiny dex? Kinda. Like I wouldn't strictly say I'm going for it, but I am like slowly. Like I can show you all the shinies that I've got. I've gotten a lot so far. Like all these like boxes here are like all shinies. So everything in here, and just ignore all the combies. It's not important. And then even more. Even more. So I'm kind of going for a shiny dex, but I wouldn't put the label on it that I'm going for a shiny dex. I'm catching shinies. Explain the bees. I was trying to get a female combi and I ended up catching 21 males before catching the female. that's what's with all the bees. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. Have you recovered mentally yet? No, I don't think I'll ever recover. It was a long process. It was worth it in the end. We did get it, so. You have a children's book about a kiwi that got lost somewhere. The kiwi bird, though, right? Did I miss a raid? It was like a while ago we got raided. It's like probably like, when was it? It was like over an hour ago I think I got raided. You had a partner in Brazil who passed away? I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe Zab raided? No, they just dropped in. Are they also a streamer? It was a week ago. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. That explains why things were really difficult for you for a while, but yeah. It gets easier. I lost a relative about a week ago as well, so I feel your pain. It's never easy, but you have to keep going, you know. Life goes on. Hopefully that doesn't sound like callous or something, but ah, that's really sad. Yeah. It'll get easier. Like, things will get at least a little bit better over time, so. Just hang in there, keep seeking help if you can. Yeah, just keep getting by. That's pretty much all that you can do. But that's really sad. I'm really sorry to hear that. You're managing. That's the main thing. As long as you're managing. Just take it day by day. You'll be okay. really want this Frostmoth, but it is just not showing up. We're in Madagascar? No, Zodum's in an island near Madagascar. They're not actually in Madagascar itself. It's a French overseas territory that they're living in. It's called La Réunion. I wouldn't be surprised if I've actually missed the Frostmoth already. I don't think I've missed it because I've been checking them pretty well. And when you look in their eyes, you can tell that it's the shiny. But I very well may have missed it. I hope I haven't missed it. Yeah, the big shiny that's hanging over my head is the Blacephalon, which we'll continue hunting on Tuesday, nighttime. If you're going to send a video of Zodum, make sure you whisper it, because when you send links, nobody else can see it except for you. Ah. It's the shiny that refuses to appear. But yeah, I'm technically working towards a living dex, but the thing is I'm probably not gonna... I don't really like Masuda methods, so I don't know if I can be bothered to get all the starters. That's basically the main thing that's making me not really want to get a shiny living dex in this game. I'm happy to get anything that I can catch from outbreaks, but when it comes to Pokemon I have to breed, I don't like it. When they add in a way to quick release Pokemon, I'll be more willing to do it, but what's your region? South Carolina. I'm not from the United States. I'm not from the United States. I'm from Australia. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. That's pretty good, Taruka. Welcome back. It's been a little while, I feel like, since I've seen you around. Hopefully you've been taking care. Ah! None of those are shiny. Are any of these shiny? I can't even tell. No, none of those are shiny. Where are you? Oh. Their eyes are green. And instead of the wings having like a purple tinge, they have a green tinge. That's literally the only difference. It's one of those ones we have to sort of look closely to spot. A lot of places with similar names, yeah. I mean, like, New York and New Jersey are named after York and Jersey, which are both places in Britain, in England, I should say. Among other sorts of places as well. Also Paris, Alabama. Oh. I didn't know there was a Paris in Alabama. Paris, Arizona? Really? How uncreative can they get? Not only it's one place, Paris, Texas. It's not only one place it's named after, it's like multiple places they're named after it. Bruh. The origin is Victoria, yes. I know there's also a Victoria in Canada. I'm sure there's other ones, but... Twilight was filmed here. Really? Huh. The whole series or just the original? I'm guessing the whole series, right? I never watched any of the movies, though. Or read any of the books. Twilight was shot in Forks, Washington. Oh. It's not good. The movies or the books or both? Because I know not a huge amount, to be honest. Is it just the shiny that refuses to appear? Okay. Normally doesn't take this long to get a shiny. Then again, I have had a shiny hunt take 3 hours. It was for Sinistea. That was actually painful. That was one shiny, took me 3 hours to get in an outbreak. Oh, gee, I had no idea about any of that. That's really horrible. No, let's not judge people based on their religion or anything like that. Obviously what they did was shitty, but... shouldn't judge people based on any of that stuff. Into Victoria is 8,000 kilometers. Dang. That is a shiny Bronzong. Not what I really wanted, but fair enough. Fair enough. If you actually have experience with, like, the only experience I've had with people from that religion is a couple of times they've been like, hey, you know, here's a copy of this like pamphlet, you should read about it and join our religion. I was like, no, thank you. So I can't say that I seriously know anybody who's part of that community. I'm in no position to necessarily judge. Let's stop the religion talk, please. Because I'm not really comfortable talking about this sort of stuff. Thank you. Just trying to catch some Pokemon here. Oh, where is this shiny, bruh? Proud of your origins. Explorers of Sky. Explorers of Sky is really good. Both of the first two Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games are fantastic. Especially the second one, which is Explorers of Time, Darkness, and then Sky is the like remastered, re-released, whatever you want to call it. The perfected version, I guess we'll call it. Yeah. Lots of stuff. Yeah, I didn't really need another shiny Bronzong though. One-eighth. Sixicar. I can't say I've heard of that group before. Is it an indigenous American group? First Nation? Of your ancestors was actually a chief. Okay, wow. Yeah. That's sort of my question as well, because I can't say I've heard of that particular group. Ah, the Blackbird. Okay, yeah. I've heard of that group. Yeah. Yeah. So I know the English name. There you go. You want something? Okay. Frostmoth looks kind of fluffy. I never realized. Oh, really? That word is from your language. Interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought that was like an English sort of word. I know it's a pejorative, but gee, that's the other thing. You know, goodness, I had no idea that that was a word from a different indigenous language. There you go. Well, you definitely learn something new every day. Is the language unique to that group, or is it like a shared language, or like it's like a similar language to other groups? I mean, Snow Eater. Oh. It's a slur more than a pejorative. Okay. Your first ancestors are from Northwest Africa. Oh. Like Morocco, Algeria, stuff like that. Wow, other countries. Ah, okay. Well, Scots, Irish. It's pretty standard, I think, for a lot of folks in America. Ah, okay, there you go. Goodness, you got a very mixed heritage. I'm just a cat. Meow. G. As an adult. If it was your great grandmother, she probably would have been an adult. But I don't know. You know, I haven't seen it. It's on him. I don't play fighting games. I'm not really interested in fighting games. To go with cat ear headphones, yo. Bruh, the shiny just refuses to appear. This is actually like kind of insane. Fair enough. Fair enough, Ava. The way they're dealing with Stig didn't look right. I know that was just my eyes playing tricks on me or something, but it looked like it was like clipping it to the ground or something. Dang, this shiny just is not showing up. Gotta work on your video editing. No worries, take care. Have a good rest of your day. And good luck with your video editing. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it's smooth. The rendering goes goes fine. All that sort of stuff. Stretch? Good idea. There we go. Thank you. Oh. Rendering is the easy part. I've had a couple of videos like corrupt on me while it's rendering, which is annoying. But I always save the project beforehand, so if it corrupts during rendering, I just have to start again. It just takes forever. So my computer's not really made for editing. It just takes ages to render stuff, that's all. Ah, there you go, you got the hardware. Perfect. Yeah, I do not have the hardware for video rendering, unfortunately. You got the tech, so you should be right. But yeah, good luck. Hopefully it goes well. Take care, take care. Do you have Netflix? No, I do not. I do not have Netflix. You recommend the film Jung-E. Fair enough. But I don't have Netflix, so I can't watch it. I can't believe I got a third shiny Bronzong before I got a Frostmoth, who's like the Outbreak Pokemon. Rare. those are shiny. Shiny? Or not? You got a new shiny today? Yes, I've had a few. You've been here, Zonim. You've seen me get the shinies. I really want Frostmoth right now. At this point, I'm kind of losing hope that we'll get it though. Saw something nice cooking. You'll catch all the shinies. I'm not going for a huge amount longer. I just want to get this shiny. I'd be happy if I got Frostmoth, and then we could end the stream on a high note. But we shall see. Appearing. I don't. Am I doing something wrong? I don't think so. Why don't you have the boarding house to do some shiny, by the way? Doing why don't I do the tent thing? Because I don't think there's a good spot to do the picnic trick. I don't think there's a good spot to do the picnic reset, so I'm just doing runaway resets. Oh, come on. I'm getting into fights with them. Yeah, I don't think there's good spots for picnic resetting. That's why I'm doing runaway. Yeah, a lot of shines like this, but you don't have this game. Or did you get this game? I don't think you got Gen 9, did you? The shiny hunting in this game is very different than previous games. So what was a good trick before probably won't work the same anymore. The main reason why I'm not doing egg hunting is because there's no way to release the eggs. I'm not going to fill up my boxes with like freaking Pidgeys or whatever. You know. If they make a way that I can get rid of the Pokemon that I've hatched, I'd consider doing it. But until then, it's not worth it for me. Then you have to manually release every single Pokemon, and it just seems like a massive drag. Bronzong is green. Yeah, I literally just caught one like 5 minutes ago. Maybe you missed it. I caught a shiny Bronzong like 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago or something like that. This one's green and white, yes. That's what I'm looking for right now. I think we can get it, but I don't have a huge amount more patience, unfortunately. It's not particularly fun for you guys to watch, I feel like, just me running around in circles waiting for this moth to appear. Before shiny Tauros or Paldea is like the normal green. Now the shiny Tauros is a different black. It looks horrible. Well, not horrible, but like it's barely different. Ah, Static. Thank you for the raid. Goodness me. Welcome, raiders. Thank you for the raid. What were you guys playing? Let's have a look. See. Let's have a look. Hey, my stream is going. Hey, you're playing Scarlet Violet too. Nice. So if you want to see some more Scarlet and Violet, folks, definitely give them a look out. We've caught a few shinies today. I'm trying to get a shiny Frostmoth right now. Yeah, the stream's been going well, so thank you for the raid. It means a lot. How'd you go? Were you playing through the story, shiny hunting? What sort of stuff were you doing? You just started playing today. Nice, that's cool. Yeah, I've finished through the story, so at this point I'm just shiny hunting. And let's look with a punishment wheel. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Hey Dread, hello, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, I'm shiny hunting Frostmoth today, right now. We've been at it for nearly an hour and a half, and it's not appeared yet, unfortunately. But yeah, good luck with your Nuzlocke run. I've done a few Nuzlockes myself in the past, mostly for older Pokemon games. I do appreciate the love and support, so thank you, it means a lot. For those who've never seen me before, I'm Kaz the Cat. I play lots of different games, a lot of Pokemon, RPGs, and games with friends, so do definitely consider following and sticking around if that sounds like it's something that appeals to you. All the support is much appreciated. That's your first Pokemon, you thought it was going to be easy. Oh, like, yes, thank you. I'm probably only going to keep going for a little bit longer, like 20 minutes or something. If I don't get it on stream, I'll probably try and get it off stream. But we'll see how we go. Have the patience. But how far did you get? Couple badges? Any gyms, anything like that? Or just exploring and stuff? Because I know it's very easy to just get lost in this game and just start like exploring everywhere. Very fun. 2 badges and 2 titans. Nice. That's good. That's a good start. Good stuff. Good stuff. Arzonum likes the normal Tauros better than this one. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, good luck. It's a really great game. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's probably one of my favorite Pokemon games, and I'm somebody who's played most of them. And I rate this one really highly. I rate this one. It's up there. They're like Gengar. Yeah, the color's barely different. Zonom, yes, I agree. Yes, I'm looking for a green-eyed moth. Your favorite's still Platinum? That's fair. Platinum is really good. I put many hours into Pokemon Platinum back in the day. So, that's a very respectable choice. Who knows, maybe as you play through the game more, maybe you'll learn to... Maybe you'll change your view a little bit. That sort of happened with me. Like, the more I played at this game, the more I liked it. Which version are you playing, Scarlet or Violet? I feel like most people play Scarlet. Oh, sorry, most people play Violet, including me. Violet, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, seems most people went for Violet. But either way, you're in for a treat. Come on. Your favorite generation is 3rd? I still think 5th gen is my favorite. I'd still say, even after everything, their 5th gen is my favorite. So it's black, white, black 2, white 2. But really, any of the generations are a good pick, I think. Like, really, any of the Pokemon games are good. Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. Welcome to the Kazuya. Yeah, 5th gen is definitely my favorite still. I should go back to 5th gen, try and do another Nuzlocke. My Nuzlocke spectacularly ended in my 5th gen playthrough. Because Machoke brick braked, got a critical hit on my Dialga. And then I lost another, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Reshiram. I caught a lot of legendaries in that playthrough. I lost Reshiram to a Wobbuffet with Destiny Bond. And Arena Tag, whatever it's called, Shadow Tag. Slacking? Yeah, Slacking is an interesting Pokemon. If it wasn't for Truant, it would actually be like a really strong Pokemon. But Slacking's ability just kills it, unfortunately. Makes it, I don't want to say useless, but very hard to find uses for. I don't know that that one flying all the way up there isn't shiny. Okay. One thing I will say about Frostmoth is they're at least not aggressive. Like, I don't have to run away from them. They're very passive when they see me. It's like, oh, whoa, what's this? Which is nice. Makes it easier to shiny hunt when the Pokemon isn't trying to, like, get you. On. Okay. I think we'll go for maybe another 10 or so minutes. Doesn't seem like the shiny's gonna cooperate today. I might do it off stream later today. I'll like keep doing pretty much exactly what I'm doing now. But it's been a fun stream. Slacking in French is one affirmit. Fair enough. Oh, don't tell me it's the one that's gonna crystallize. Ugh, the animation. I should have just taken it out earlier. I wouldn't have to keep getting into a fight with it. Oh my goodness. Cute cat Ursha. Yeah. Come on. You got shiny Beartic? No. I do not. But it's something we'll get eventually, but as of right now, the answer is no, I do not have that. Man. Shiny actually just refuses to appear. This is actually kind of insane. We'll try to catch him. I mean, if he appears in an outbreak, sure, but... yeah, I mean, I would like to. But if he doesn't appear in an outbreak, it's pretty hard to get. Oh, my back is itchy. Okay. What's with that face, Harold? In French, 2 Pokemon are ridiculous. Okay, what are their names? The dolphin. Uh-huh. Why, what's its name? What makes its name so ridiculous? Dolphin. That's it. That's his name. And Super Dolphin. That's funny. Goodness, where is this shiny at? How many have we encountered at this point? It's got to be a lot. Kill this Glaceon just to get rid of it. That's amazing. Dolphin and Super Dolphin. It's funny. Please, I beg you. Wait. Sliding down the hill, bruh. Come on. Let's go. It just refuses to show up. That's the problem. Alright. We're gonna do 3 more round trips once we get back up there. Let's check all the ones up this hill. We're gonna do 3 more round trips, then we're gonna leave it. It's what I did last time, and we ended up getting a shiny when we did this, so maybe we'll get the same luck this time. Let's move away. We're gonna go back and forth 3 times, and then that'll be it. Okay. We've got to check every Frostmoth carefully. Okay, 3 more back and forth trips, and that'll be it for the shiny hunt for today. We did at least get 4 shinies, which is good. One of them is a complete repeat, which is a shame, but the other 3 were new, which is good. I hate when it makes you slide down the hill. The evolution of Dunsparce? Yeah. Not a big fan of Dunsparce. But, you know, it is what it is. Ah, come on. I was not close enough to fight that. Sometimes the hitboxes on these Pokemon are so whack. Particularly flying ones, I've noticed their hitbox is really weird. I think they made the hitboxes bigger, compensate for the fact that they're in the air. They made them too big. So they wanted to make it easier, I think, to encounter them. So it's 1 and 2. Yeah, I see. I see. Okay, that's our first trip, so we're going to do 2 more like that, and then we'll call it for the day. And I may do this off stream later. They keep grinding this, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, like 1 and 2. Yeah, I understood that. I don't really get why they bothered making Dunsparce have an evolution if they were going to just do what they did. Like, it's funny, I guess, but... I don't really get it. Like, I would have thought if you're gonna go through all the effort to make an evolution for Dunsparce, you'd make it like something interesting, but you know, what do I know? But I think the argument is that like it's such a silly Pokemon that like this is like the only way that it really could have had an evolution to begin with, right? Like the Pokemon is so like inherently just like silly and kind of useless. No offense to any Dunsparce fans out there, but like the only like reasonable evolution they could give is something that's equally as ridiculous, right? That's my understanding of their creative process. Dang, they're really just not giving me the shiny. I know I've said it a few times before, but like, it's been like probably an hour and a half, hour 45 thereabouts. The name in English of the flamingo is Flamigo, so there's no M. It's a pun on flamingo and amigo in Spanish, so Flamigo is its name. Okay, 1 more round trip, and that'll be it. For the stream, at least. Just look so carefully at each one of these. Okay, 1 more round trip. Gonna check a couple more times. Which way? And that is that. We did get a few shinies, and I'll show them off once we finish this little hunt here. You're back. Hey, welcome back. We're still hunting Frostmoth. I'm about to end the stream, actually. Yeah, hasn't gone so well. We got another Bronzong while we were doing this particular hunt, but no luck yet. I'm literally like about to leave it there for now. I may hunt it off stream later today if I have time, but I'm about ready to call it, to throw in the towel for now. We're going to check the bottom of the hill and on top of the hill 1 more time, and then that's it. We had a packet of ghost pepper chips. Rare. I couldn't even imagine eating one ghost pepper chip, let alone a full packet. Rare. Sounds like hazardous to life, honestly. Okay, these are the last few frost moths, I think. Nope, still no shiny, dang. Alright, I think that's where I'll call it for now. We'll check the one on the cliff and then the one that's sleeping under the tree, and that's pretty much it. That is not shiny, and you are, I believe, also not shiny. Alright. Cool. That'll be where we leave it for now. Like I said, I'll probably maybe do some off-stream continuation of this, if I can be bothered. Shiny's green, I know. These are the shinies that we got today. We got Electric, 2 Misdreavuses, and Bronzong. So, yeah. How much more time of community day do you have? It starts in 2 hours. But I'm gonna go eat and have a break. So I need a bit of a break. Playing Pokemon for like, how many hours already? Like 3 hours. Good lunch. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I probably will continue this off stream. So I'll be recording it if I do get the shiny. So there'll still be a clip of it somewhere. But that's it for now. So thank you for joining me for another shiny hunt. Next week is going to be probably the last one for a little while. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.